No one likes being dumped in a relationship. It's rejection, it's hurtful, you get your heart broken. Most of us will avoid it at all costs. In fact, many times we're the person that wants to break up first. But breaking up is really difficult too when you decide the relationship is no longer good for you, no longer healthy for you. I think it is really difficult to break up with someone. And the reason I think it is because what I know from my training in psychology, the way you break up with someone sets the precedent, not only for that person's ability to heal and love again, but for your own. And that's one reason I caution everybody listening to this, don't ever break up with anyone on a text or an email or ghosting or any of these other really, really inappropriate, immature ways to handle it. The best way to break up is face to face if you possibly can. And if you can't, then I would really reconsider thinking when I was going to break up so that I could see that person when I told them that I needed to end the relationship. The exception to this is if you're with somebody who you believe will threaten you, threaten themselves, or do something hurtful. If you're with someone abusive, then you owe them nothing. Maybe the courts will help you break up, or you owe them nothing. Honestly, they're sick, they're mentally ill, and you shouldn't ever face them directly and tell them you want to break up. You make your plan and you get out of the house. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through in a healthy relationship or a non-abusive relationship how to break up with someone. And as I said, the reason is because it's so important in determining how and if you will truly be able to love again as well as that other person. The first thing is be sure you want to exit the relationship. Be sure this is what you want. You want nothing lingering. You want no hang-ons or attachments. You are telling the person you have thought about it. You should have a clear reason that you need to break up, and you're sure this is the end. Secondly, what are your concerns? If you're concerned that maybe you'll be more desperate, you know you don't like being alone, you're worried about that. If you're worried about that person's financial health, you may want to consider a plan for that. There's things that you should have in your mind, because remember, when you're breaking up with someone and they're emoting and they feel sad, and the more they feel sad, it starts playing on your guilt or your shame, then there is a good chance you will get pulled back into a relationship that is not working for you. And that is not what you want to be. You want to be clear and direct. Thirdly, decide where and when this discussion is going to happen. It's better if it's in a space that, especially I think if it's relatively new relationship, that you're not totally desolated, you're not totally alone, but yet there is a space to be alone, and it's the two of you together, preferably outside at a park or something that involves them having a space, a safe place to cry, a safe place to emote, to verbalize what they need to, but it's also safe for you, that you will be able to begin the discussion, to tell them completely what you feel, and then end the discussion. If it's someone you know well, then it's a good idea you'll have a favorite place you like, then I think you should do that. If it's at one of your homes, that's not ideal, because then somebody has to leave the other one. And if it's at your home, then you're going to have to be forceful once again to help the person leave. And it's just going to be awkward and more pain. They'll know they're never coming back there. And I think that's going to bring them extra grief that they don't need. Speak honestly about what you feel. Honesty is not cruel. It's honest. It's what's going on in you, what you feel, and why you need to do this. And whatever you do, be considerate of their feelings. Be compassionate. Say, I'm sorry we have to end like this, but it just has to, because it's not fair for you or for me. I think when people hear that, they understand what that means. And if you're being sincere and honest and compassionate, it's going to help them. And refrain from prolonging it or making it something promising. You should have no promise. And this whole concept of, I'm hoping we can still be friends is not wise. And the reason it's not wise is when someone is rejecting you on this level, for them to even mention being friends makes the whole relationship seem less essential, less meaningful than it was. You tell them you're sorry, that this has to happen, and this is why. And there is nothing lingering. That is it. And if the two of you can hug goodbye, that's helpful. But I don't know how your partner will be, nor do you. Because hearing something like this, even if they knew it was coming, is very painful. So this is the best way that's going to ensure that you can really end it, grieve it, and move forward, and your partner can too. Be a class act about this. Do it in person if the person is safe with you. I think that's really important.